singers, this is Valerie White Williams and Vocal Splendor Studios, and today I would like to offer you some suggestions and tips on how to stop singing nasal. So first of all, I would like to talk about how some people think they are nasal, but they are not. We've all watched all these reality TV shows talking about people singing in the nose, and it feels nasal or it sounds nasal. And sometimes when we are singing in a certain part of our range, especially the middle voice, we get a sense of buzz in our nose. And so people think that a buzzy nose is nasal. That is, again, an inner sensation that singers feel. When we're resonating in this middle voice, we are going to get a sense of buzz, and that is not nasal, it's resonance. And that exactly is what we want as a singer. We want to have a voice that's going to stand out and be heard. And that's what resonance does, is it means our sound is efficient and it's flowing. So if you are concerned about being nasal, there is a wonderful trick that everybody uses, and that's plugging your nose. So even if I'm talking, if my nasal sound, my sound would change. When I plug my nose, is my sound different? My sound is different. Now, I can be a little nasal too. If I sing a little more nasal or I talk nasal, I'm going to talk when I get a plugged nose. So let me sing something. Let's do America Beautiful, America Beautiful. Not nasal. America, America. So if there's a nasality happening and you plug your nose and the tone changes, it sounds stuffy, then you know there is some nasality. So that is the trick. Plug your nose. Does the sound change? Then you know. So ways to work on nasality and get that feeling is you want to feel a sense of opening back here. And again, this is another thing about singing, that we can't go in there and just like create space. I can't go in someone's head and open up the space, but we want to feel open back here. So when you're going to feel the sense of opening, some choir teachers talk about, imagine there's an egg behind your throat. A lot of imaginary stuff, but there are some things that you can do to work on. And one of them is the exercise. So you can go ing, like ing. And what that does is it gets your tongue up there, and then you can feel it releasing in the back of your the roof of your mouth, really. And so that's going to create a sense of that opening and space in your mouth, which is going to open up the sound. So let's do the nose trick. So when I go, I'm definitely having that nasal sound, because the nasal consonants are the N, M, and ing. And so you're going from a nasal sound to a non-nasal sound. So let me try that again. So of course that didn't sound very pretty, but that's a way for you to determine not nasal. So you have your own way of determining whether that nasality is happening by simply plugging your nose and seeing if the tone is consistent. That's a great way of determining that. The other ways, tried and true, is record yourself. People should record themselves regularly. It's another habit that's very difficult for a lot of singers, because when they hear your voice, what you hear on the recording isn't what you hear in your head. And the reason why that is because our ears are on the side, and we have a lot of meat and bones in between all that, so we don't get a clear sense of what our voice sounds like. However, if you can get the guts to record and listen, you'll hear many things, not just nasality, but other things that you can fix. If you can be clear about listening with a critical ear without bashing yourself and making yourself feel like you never want to sing again. But most pros singers have to get used to recording, because it's just part of the business. It's part of making demos, and so just do it and listen and ask your friends or ask people you respect, maybe not just your friends, do I sound nasal? And then you'll hear for yourself, because the nasal sound is that forward kind of plugged feeling, and that inga will help you kind of identify whether you're nasal or not, or how that opening feels for you. One other thing about nasality I want to say, there is a place for nasality. It's not like never, never, never. Obviously, country music sometimes uses a bit of nasality, as does other musical styles. Sometimes a touch of nasality gives a little sense of edge to the sound. A touch, not a lot. I have heard rock singers use nasality for energy, and what comes out sometimes is not the best tone. It doesn't sound that great. It's better to use breath energy and use other strategies to energize the tone, but sometimes a little nasality works for the style or that situation at the time. All right, that's my teaching on nasality. Okay, tell me what you think. Have you worked through nasality? What has worked good for you? I would love to hear about it in the comments. And if you like this content and would like to know more about vocal technique, please click the subscribe button and click on the bell so you can be notified about all my uploads. All right, have a great day and sing on.